You were born without asking, and you'll die the same way. There are billions of people in the world, all living their lives, making decisions every day that affect not only themselves, but also those around them. In fact, it could be said that each person's life is a chain reaction of events that ultimately led to the point at which they found themselves. Others might argue that not being present at our own birth means we have no connection or belonging to this world. From that moment on, we became part of a larger system, a system with its own rules and expectations. The rules may not have been explicitly stated, but they were there nonetheless. It is a call to action, a reminder that we cannot simply exist. People whose names were once whispered in awe and wonder, whose faces were plastered across newspapers and magazines, whose voices echoed through the halls of power. Yet today, few remember them, fewer still care. Why is this? Because they failed to keep up with the times. They failed to evolve with the world. It became irrelevant. We must do something to achieve our goals, to make our presence felt. But why is this? Only then can we truly be successful, truly make our presence felt. We may feel that way sometimes, that our struggles are unique to us, that our problems are too big or too small for anyone else to understand. But the truth is that everyone faces challenges. Everyone has problems. The key is not to ignore them or try to pretend they don't exist, but to confront them head-on. For it is in action, in the pursuit of our goals, that we find meaning and purpose. There is a difference between being proactive and being reactive. This does not mean that we should rely on others. It does not mean that we should become dependent on the help of others. Rather, it means that we should learn to lean on others when times are tough, to draw strength from them so that we can continue to move forward. To truly be successful, to truly make our presence felt, we must learn to strike this balance, to be proactive rather than reactive. On the contrary, it means that we have the freedom to create our own meaning, to shape our own lives. It is up to us to decide what kind of people we want to be, what kind of impact we want to make on the world. We must learn to take control of our lives, to make our own decisions rather than simply responding to the actions of others. The world may have been thrust upon us, but it is ours to explore, to conquer, to make our own. As the famous saying goes, the best revenge is massive success. Let us strive to be successful, not for the sake of revenge, but for the sake of fulfilling our potential. For the sake of making our lives and the lives of those around us better. Let us take the opportunities that come our way and make the most of them. Let us not be afraid to fail, for it is in failure that we learn and grow. Let us be bold, let us be brave, and let us be relentless in our pursuit of success. Let us show the world what we are capable of and make our presence felt. After all, we were not put on this earth to be ignored. We were put on this earth to shine. When we are constantly striving, when we are focused on what we want to achieve, we are less likely to be bogged down by the negative aspects of life. We are more likely to see the positive, to appreciate what we have. Why is it so important to constantly strive, to never stop moving forward? Because the world rewards action. It rewards those who participate, who make their presence felt. Where we are constantly being told what to think, what to say, how to act. It can be hard to know what to do, how to respond. But it is important to remember that we are not simply puppets. We are not simply reacting to the strings being pulled by external forces. We have a choice. We can choose how to respond, how to act. Those who sit back and do nothing are quickly forgotten, ignored. We learn them through our interactions with others, through our experiences in the world. These rules dictated how we should behave, what was expected of us. And if we broke these rules, there would be consequences. So what does it really mean for us? What does it imply for our existence? To answer this question, we need to go back to the beginning, back to the moment when we were brought into this world. Kicking and screaming, totally unaware of what lay ahead. Each decision made, whether big or small, created a link in this chain, bringing them closer to where they are today. However, one thing is certain. None of these people were present when the first link in their chains was forged. None of us were present when we were born. We didn't ask to be brought into this world. We were just thrust here without our consent. Some may say that this gives us no choice but to accept whatever life throws at us, both good and bad. The moment we were born, we entered a social contract of sorts. For example, one of the most fundamental rules we learn is that we cannot simply exist. We must also participate. We must do something to make our presence known. If we don't interact with the world, if we don't make our presence felt, the world will simply move on without us. It will ignore our existence as if we were not there. This is because the world is not static. It is always changing, always evolving. And if we do not change with it, if we do not evolve, then we become irrelevant. This is why the famous quote, "Act as if you have already achieved your goal," resonates so strongly with many people. Take, for example, the countless individuals who have come and gone throughout history. But it's not just the world that rewards action. It is also the key to our own happiness and fulfillment. However, there is a fine line between taking action and being passive. This can be difficult, especially in today's world, where we are bombarded with information from all sides. We can choose to be proactive. We must learn to take control of our lives, to make our own decisions rather than simply responding to the actions of others. Another important aspect of this is to remember that we are not alone. We must learn to reach out to others, to connect with those around us, to build a support system that can help us through tough times. In conclusion, while it is true that none of us were present at our own birth, this does not mean that we are without purpose or direction. We must learn to take control of our lives, to be proactive rather than reactive, and to never forget that we are not alone.